Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
We can hear
Yes,
you.
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Good. So, yeah, I started to have this. I sent my announcement. I posted an announcement about this remote class. On Wednesday, I'll be back. I believe I'll be better then, and then we'll be back in the class again. So, today we begin at confidence interval for proportions. The confidence interval for proportions. That's where we'll start today. I'll make sure you can see all this. Because there's some more people came in. Okay, let me accept them. Okay. Just 1 minute. All right. Okay. So as you can see from the screen, a proportion is a part of something. Before I do that, I want to show you the assignment that are due this week. Then we can continue from there. Okay. Yeah, more people are coming in. All right. So let me show you the assignment that I do this week. Then we can continue from there. I will take you to the classroom. Where is that class? It'll be somewhere. Just give me 1 minute. Let me open this classroom. Yep, I think I have it. Okay. Yeah. See, the announcement I made for this week class. This week we'll be focusing on confidence interval for proportion, but you have 4 assignments to this week. One of them you already started it from last week. You just have, homework 8. You just have to complete it. That's all. The only one that is new, actually, are 3 of them. The classwork 13, which I will put after this class session, test 2, and then Excel assignment 5. Homework 8 is already, you have been doing it since last week, so it's an old assignment. So these are what I do this week. All right, let's go back. So a proportion is part of something. And I give an example here using the USA Today snapshot feature, which say that 12% of the pleasure boats in America were named Serenity. You can see the 12% is a proportion. It's a proportion. It's part of all the pleasure boats in America. Now, when calculating the confidence interval for a proportion, we use these key terms. P stands for population proportion. P hat stands for sample proportion. And the formula for getting P hat, if it is not given, sometimes it is given as a percentage. In that case, you don't have to use this formula. But if it is not given as a percentage, then you gotta use this formula. I will show you two different examples on that. Q hat is 1 minus P. And to find the error margin, we make use of this formula here. Error equals P Z alpha over 2, which is the critical value, times square root of P hat times Q hat over N, where N is the sample size. P hat, I have already explained, it is given as a percent, but where it is not given, you can use this to calculate it. Okay? And then Q hat is 1 minus P hat. Then, to get the confidence, after getting all this, the error margin, to get the confidence interval, you just use this formula, same formula we used last week, but this time around we're using P hat. We're using the proportion. instead of the mean. So we are trying to estimate the population proportion P using the sample proportion P hat. Okay. And last week I explained to you how to find the alpha and the critical values for each confidence level. For 90%, if it's 90%, you have a chance, 10% chance of being incorrect. That means here alpha is 0.10. And the critical value is Z alpha over 2. Remember, alpha over 2 because it is two sides, left side and right side. So from the table of normal distribution, we get it at 1.65. I explained this last week. So, but I put the table here to keep it handy. Now, if you have a question that have a different confidence level, other than the one in this table, then you have to use the formula that I showed you last week to estimate your critical value. But most questions will be using this confidence levels. So that's why I put them here too for you. All right, let's see one example. I'm going to create a room for this. Okay, yeah, let me make it one. Let me take it to a new folder so we have enough room for that. Good. Now, the question goes, in a random sample of 200 investment advisors, 70 recommended information technology stocks. One, APA says, give the maximum error with 95% confidence. Then, part B says, construct a 95% confidence interval for a true proportion. Okay, now let's start. The question says, in a random sample of 200 investment advisors, out of these 200, 70 recommended information technology stocks. So your S is 70, and your N is 200. So maximum error is, to calculate that, we use this formula that I showed you here. Use this formula right here, maximum error. So I'm going to place it here. So you can calculate the maximum error. Okay. Now, our Z alpha over 2, Z alpha over 2. Okay, alpha over 2 for the confidence level of 95%, it's going to be, look at the table, 1.96. Okay, 1.96. Okay, so I'm going to fix this. Okay, now to get the maximum error, I'm going to use the workbook that will allow us to put these informations in. So, but first of all, let me write them down on paper so I can be able to type them in when I go to that workbook. Let's see. Okay. So our X is 70. Our N is 200. Z alpha over 2 equals 1.96. So now we're ready to find the error, but we haven't, see, if you look at the formula for error, we have P hat and Q hat. So P hat will be X, and the formula is S over N. So let me take you where we can get it. To the other workbook. Okay. So we have that. Okay. P hat. So I'm going to use this for the hat. So let me do it for something that is, I think this should serve for the hat. Okay, P hat. Yeah, P hat. Then make it bigger. So you can see the screen. P hat equals, oh, excuse me, equals X over N, X over N, X over N, And our S is 70, I believe. I wrote it down 70. And our N is 200 out of 200 investment advisors. Okay. S per N is 70. So that means S per N is 70 by 200. From our calculator, the Desmos calculator, let me see. 70 divided by 200 is 0.35. So I'm going to go there and put 0.35. Okay. 0.35. I'm going to copy this and put it on our main workbook so that we can continue the work there. Okay. So is S by N is P hat is this. So then Q hat is always 1 minus P hat. So I'm going to take you to that place again. Q hat. So our P hat, let me write it down. P hat is 0.35. So Q hat will be, okay, this to the Q hat again. Q hat equals 1 minus P hat. 1 minus P hat. Okay, which is 1 minus 0.35, giving us on the calculator we have that 1 minus 0.35. Yeah, 1 minus 0.35 is 0.65. Okay, so I'm going to go to 0.65 and to our workbook 0.65. Okay, I'll copy this and put it in our main workbook. Okay, that's our Q hat. So our Q hat is 0.65. Let me write it down. 0.65. Now, with these two things, we are ready to estimate the error margin. And then once we estimate the error margin, we can now get our confidence interval. So we have this P hat and Q hat. We have all these numbers here ready for us to use them. So we use this formula to find the error margin. Now, so I'm going to copy this formula and put it in the other workbook so that we can put these numbers in. So I'm taking you to that workbook again. So we have put it right there. Okay. So I'll make it a little bit bigger. Make it 16 should be good enough. Now, okay. Put this right there. Good. Now, as you can see, from our formula, make it bold as a matter of fact, so you can see it very well. So I'm gonna, yeah. Now, when you look at the values we have here in our main workbook, you can see that we have this. We have our N as 200. We have our Z alpha over 2 as 1.96, P hat as 0.35, Q hat as 0.65. So the error is Z alpha over 2 times square root of P hat times Q hat over N. So let's go and put it in. Okay. So that means equals Z alpha over 2, we get it as 1.96. Okay. Times this square root of, I'm going to put the square root of, yeah, P hat times Q hat over N. And our P hat, we got it as 0.35. Okay, times Q hat is 0.65 over N. Our N is 200 investment advisors. That gives us, now let me write it down, and then we get the work answer from the calculator. We have 1.96 times square root of 0.35 times 0.65 for 200. We get our error margin. So that we have, taking you to calculator, we have 1.96 times the square root of, I got 0.35, 0.35. Okay. Of course, I have 200 here. Anyway, 0.35 times 0.65. See, 1.96 times square root of 0.35 times 0.65 over 200. That gives me 0.066. 0.066 rounded. Yep, 0.066 rounded. So I'm going to go there and put it in so that we have our error margin, 0.066. So I'm going to copy this. Of course, I make it unbold it. Copy this, okay, and paste it in our main workbook so that we can now get our confidence interval since we have our error. See, we have our error margin now. So that the 95% confidence interval is given by p hat minus error less than p hat plus error. So you mean that it goes from lower side, this is the lower interval, this is upper interval. So we have plugging in this in, our p hat is 0.35. Okay, 0.35. I'm going to make it bigger. Make it 16. Okay. Less than p. Okay. Less than p. I'm looking for my equation. So I can put by this. Okay. Let me see. Yep. Just 1 minute. 0.35 less than p. Just 1 minute. Okay. It's right there. My workbook. Okay. All right. I move this. So I'm trying to put the less than symbol. So I'm going to get it from here. Insert, get the less than symbol. It's right here. Less than p, which is what we're trying to estimate. Less than oh, I did say p hat minus error. So 0.35 minus error. Our error is 0.066. 0.066. 0.066. Okay. 0.066. Okay. Now, less than p, less than 0.35. 0.35 plus error. So on the left side, you add the error. And on the right side, you subtract the error. Sorry, on the left side, you subtract the error. And on the right side, you add the error. So that's our final result will now become, after we added it, after we subtracted it, we're going to be 0.35 minus 0.66. 0.35 minus 0.66. And that will give us, if we go to our calculator, we have 0.35. Okay, 0.35 minus 0.066. That gives us 0.284. 0.284. 0.284 is less than the P and less than, and then we have having people coming in. On the right side, let me create a room so I can accept this. Okay, we have 0.35 plus that. So we can just go to the calculator and put plus sign on that side. So I put plus sign here. 0.416 on the right side. 0.416. 0.416. I think that was what the calculator gave us. Let me double check it. Yeah, 0.416. So as you can see, this is the confidence interval P. So what's our conclusion? We conclude as follows. Remember, this is proportion and this is a percent. So this means 28.4%. Between 28.4%, excuse me, and 41.6%. So we are 95% confident. We are 95% confident that between 28.4% to 41.6% of investment advisors recommended information technology stocks. So let's conclude the confidence interval for that question. So we answer two parts in this question. We answer part A, which gives us the error margin, and part B, which gives us the confidence interval. Any question on this before we go to the second example? Any question? Yeah. Yeah, I think everybody's in. Okay, since there's no question, we can move to the next one. Next one, maybe you can try this one as a practice. Let's do an example where they give us the P hat as a percent. Okay, let's see if I have it here. Okay, good. Now look at this one. It says here, oh, excuse me. This is the one we want to do. This one has percent, give the P hat given as a percent. So now let's try it. It says a survey of 200 boat owners found that 12% of pleasure boats were named Serenity. Find the 95% confidence interval for the true proportion of boats named Serenity. So again, we have our sample size N. Let's say a survey of 200,000. So N is 200,000 owners. Okay, was surveyed and find that 12%. So P hat is given here as 12%, which means that we don't need to use this formula X over N, because P hat is given as a percent. So our P hat is 12%. So I'm going to take you to this workbook so you can get P hat as 12%. So I have our P hat. Okay. P hat is right here. P hat equals 12%, which is 0.12. Okay. P hat is 12%. So I'm going to put it right there in that main workbook. Okay. Q hat is 1 minus P hat always. So that Q hat, okay, Q hat is equals 1 minus P hat. Okay. So which give us 1 minus 0.12. So we can get that from our calculator. 1 minus 0.12, 0.88. So we put 0.88 right there. Okay. 0.88. So we have our Q hat. So we're just gonna put it in the workbook. Okay. So that now next thing is to find the error. To find the error, we have these two. Now you say 95%. We need one more thing, which is the Z alpha over 2. Z alpha over 2. So I'm gonna put alpha over 2 equal. So I'm gonna make it bigger for you. Okay. Z alpha over 2. Make it 18. Okay, good. Now for 95% confidence limit, Z alpha over 2, you can see from the table, is 1.96. See, 95% is 1.96. Okay. So we're gonna have it. Put it right there. Yeah. It's 1.96. All this we use to calculate the error margin. So to find the error margin, as usual, we're gonna use our formula for error margin. If you remember, we use it right here. This is right there. So I'm gonna copy this and then paste, excuse me, sorry. Copy the error margin and then go and paste it in our main workbook and then put the numbers in. Sorry, the other workbook and then put the numbers in. So I'm gonna put 1.96 already for our P hat. For this one, our P hat, the P hat is okay. P hat is, let's go back to that question. I'm going to write all these things down. So N is 200,000. P hat is 0.12. Q hat is 0.88. Z alpha over 2 is 1.96. Okay. So let us have them in. So I'm taking you back to that place. We have that our P hat. I'm gonna remove this so we can put our P hat and Q hat. 0.12 times our Q hat is 0.88. Then we have 200,000 people were surveyed. 200,000 people were surveyed. Okay. So I'm gonna do the calculation using our calculator, Desmos. Okay, you got, so Z alpha over 2 is 1.96 times the square root of P hat is 0.12, 0.12 times Q hat is okay, let me make it, because it's going to be a fraction. Okay, I'm gonna make it fraction. So over 200,000, I believe. Then back to the top times Q hat is 0.88. Okay, that gives us 0. Let me write it down. E equals 0.0014. Rounded. 0.0014 rounded. So I'm gonna put it right there. So 0.0014. I'm gonna copy this. Yeah. And put it in our main workbook so we can continue from there. So that is our error margin. So with this error margin, we can now get our confidence interval. using p hat minus error less than p hat plus error. So that we have so our p hat is 0.12, okay, minus the error. Let me make it bigger. 18 should be good enough. Okay, and our error is 0.0014 less than, I'll put less than p, which is what we are trying to estimate. Okay, and I'm going to put less than again. Then we have p hat plus error. P hat is again is 0.12 plus error. Oh, our error is 0.0014. So solving this with a calculator, we can write this first. 0.12. Oh, I have it here. Okay. We have that. Going to the calculator, we have this have 0.12 is the p hat minus error of 0.0014. Give me 0.1186. Let me write it down. 0.1186 less than p. Okay, let's go and put it in first of all. We go and put it as, we got 0. Oh, it's small. Let me make it bigger again. 18. 0.0014 less than p, less than. Now on this side you add. On the left side you subtract. On the right side you add. So let's go and check this. Do this on the calculator on the right side. All you have to do is to go there and add with a plus sign. 0.1214. 0.1214. Yeah. So we go and put it in 0.1214. So now, remember, these are percentages. These are like saying what 0. I didn't subtract this very well. 0.12 minus 0.0012. This I wrote the wrong answer here. It's gonna be let's go back and do it again and correct it. So 0.1, let me put minus sign here. 0.1186. See? And I wrote something different there. 0.1186. 0.1186. Let me go and this one is okay. So remember, these are proportions. So this means 11.8% and 12.14%. So remember, this is a question about, say, a survey of 200 boat owners. A survey of 200 boat owners found that 12% of the pleasure boats were named Serenity. Find the 95% confidence interval for the two proportion. So that means that we can conclude this way. We can say with 95% confidence that between 11.86% to 12.14% of pleasure boats were named Serenity. Any question to this? Any question on this? Any question on this class? Okay. So there's no question. So remember that when the first one we did, here we are told that in a random sample of 200 investment advisors, 70 recommended IT stocks. So here we are giving 95% confidence interval, we're asked to do 95% confidence interval for the proportion. Here we say the first question say give the maximum error with 95% confidence. That means you get the error margin. But the problem is that here we are not giving the proportion as a percent. Instead, we are giving x and n. In that case, to get p hat, we use this formula to calculate x over n. That gives us 0.35. Q hat is always 1 minus p hat. Now, in the second question, however, this one is one I will say I'm gonna probably I'm gonna put this as a classwork for you. Okay. Now, but this one says here we have 12% of the pleasure boats we are named Serenity. 12% of them were named Serenity. So they give us the p hat already as 12%. So we don't have to start doing x over n. Don't forget that. So we will just put the p hat, the percent as the p hat, and of course q hat is always 1 minus p hat. Then you go from there. Don't forget to conclude. Okay. Now I'm gonna put this the classwork one more time. Is there any question before I put the classwork for you? Any question? Okay. So let me go and put the classwork for you. This is the classwork. Okay. All right.
Sorry, you're posting this recording, right?
The recording? Okay, want me to propose the recording?
Yeah, please.
Oh, sure. I'll do that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So now let me copy this and then go and post it there. Paste it there. Their classwork. So assignments. So your classwork 13. Okay, gonna be. So I'll post it right here. So it's confidence interval proportion. Proportion. Okay. Save it. So remember that you access it from the models. Once you go to the models and you scroll down to this week, you see the classwork. Okay, I don't have it here. So let me put it here. It should be here. Classwork. 13 right there. Okay. Confidence interval is right here. And I'm gonna move it up. Oh, I put it twice. So I'm gonna remove this one. Anyway, just click on any one of them. You should be fine. Once you do one of them, it will yeah. Let me make sure. When I click on this, yes, just do one of them. It will populate. You'll be fine. Now, before I will leave, I want to take your names, attendance. Any question before we leave? Update the attendance. Make sure everybody's name is here. Lee, who's Lee? Yeah, Lee. Oh, okay. What is Johnson? Blake? Who's Blake? Okay. Who else am I missing? Forbes. I have Forbes already. All right. Abjulasha, I have Rosario. And so So if you have question, ask question. I don't respond to chat during the classroom, okay? Just Marcus Johnson. Okay. I have Marvelous. Got you. So I think I have everybody now. So if you don't have any question, feel free to leave. Okay. Sterling, have Sterling. Okay. Erwin, I got Erwin. So I'll see you on Wednesday then. Please, if you have a question, ask me. I don't respond to chat during the class, okay? All right, since there's no question, I'm gonna let you go. I'll see you on Wednesday then.